Consistency, discipline, and time. Those are the keys to saving a significant amount of money. With enough time, any savings plan can result in a significant savings. Just do it. Just do it. And you should have started when you were young. And if you're still young, it's the best time to start. How young am I talking about? I don't know, 14, 15, 16, whenever you start getting money. You should never have this mindset of saving money only to get rid of it and spend it. Obtaining wealth is actually fairly easy if you understand that the key to savings are consistency, discipline, and time, and also for making money. Consistency, discipline, and time. Your money can grow exponentially if you understand that. With enough time, any savings plan can result in a significant savings. Good example, I have a friend who, at this point, he probably has in the bank about, I'm going to guesstimate about close to $600,000. And financially, he is one of the dumbest, I'm sorry to disparage him, but I'm not going to tell you his name, but he's really one of the dumbest people I know when it comes to finances. What is his strategy? Absolutely nothing. The one and only strategy he has ever had was consistency, discipline, and time. He worked his whole life. He's retired now. He didn't spend much money. He had the discipline to save money, and over time, it accumulated. He didn't do anything special. He didn't do anything special at all. He simply had a deferred compensation plan and a savings account, and he just lived frugally. And really, his frugal living had more to do with the fact that he basically never left the house he grew up in as a child, which to me is kind of pathetic, but nevertheless, that's his story. For whatever reason, even as an adult, retiring in his 50s, he still lived in the house he grew up in. So his bedroom was like a little apartment. He put a lock on it. He told his other siblings who never left home that was his domain. And as far as he was concerned, since the house was paid for that his parents owned, why leave it to go pay rent? He didn't have a girlfriend for the most of his life, all of his life, to be honest with you. He's kind of a strange character, but nevertheless, he's a good guy. And that's his story. I don't know what he's going to do with the $600,000 he's accumulated, but he's retired now. He's got a nice steady income, which is a lot more than most people make, going to work, and whatever he decides to do with his life, if he actually decides to do something with his life, he's got money to play with. And he had no strategy whatsoever other than consistency, discipline, and time. Made no smart investments or anything else. Matter of fact, he was afraid to even try to make smart investments. He just saved his money. That's why I say with enough time, any savings plan can result in a significant savings. Here's the lowly penny. Copper monetary unit that most people would not even bother to bend over and pick up because it's a penny. What can you do with a penny? The answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. I cannot think of one thing you can buy with one penny. It used to be that you could put a penny in a gumball machine. These days, you can't even get a gumball with a nickel or a dime. You have to put at least a quarter in a gumball machine to get a freaking gumball. A penny. And for these reasons, most people, if they see a penny, they will not even bend over to pick it up. And I want to make a significant point here. Because I'm one of the people, if I see a penny, I will bend over and pick it up. And as a result of doing that, I would say for about 23, 24 years of just picking up every penny I see and saving pennies, the lowly penny. This is an actual picture that I took today in order to make this point. This is not my entire penny collection. This is part of it. This is part of it. But it represents the fact that I have been saving pennies, one penny at a time for about 24 years. And right now today I've accumulated about $500 worth of pennies. $500 worth of pennies. Now, what am I going to do with these pennies? I don't know. You know, every time I have planned to do something with it, my plan changed and I still have them. I'm still saving them. It's almost like an addiction. I keep saving these pennies. But the point is, I'm going to give them to somebody ultimately. I just cannot imagine myself ever taking the time to roll up all these pennies and take them to the bank and cashing them in. That's a lot of work. Saving them one penny at a time was not much work. It just took time. Consistency, discipline, and time. It took time and discipline, but not much work. But to roll these pennies up, and a roll of pennies is only 50 pennies, $500 worth? Are you kidding? And then to go cash them in the bank? Or even to put them in one of those dumpsters, and then I have to pay like 7, 8%. When I know I save these pennies one penny at a time, I'm going to think about all the pennies I've got to pay just for the privilege of them counting my money. So what I'll probably do is give them to somebody. I'm not sure who. At one point, I said I was going to give them to my son once he finished high school, but immediately he started making his own money. He didn't really need them. And who knows? Maybe I'll give them to my grandson, or I don't know, or who knows. But ultimately, I'm going to give them to somebody. But the point is that I've never been in a position where I needed to cash in my pennies because I had to pay a bill or do anything else. Because, this is just a sideline thing that I've done more just out of curiosity than anything else.